All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai.
Shai.
We want to give double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone that rule well, who taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And we like to give a special peace and salutations to the elect, the redeemed, the remnant that's out here kicking us where the sincerity and truth. Because without the remnant, of course, first and foremost, without Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, but without him putting the spirit in the remnant to teach this word, we would all be finished, you know. And ultimately, too, that goes by the reconciliation of Yahweh Shai's blood. Okay. But the remnants out here doing this, the remnants out here teaching, all right, through the spirit of the Father and the Son. All right. And we just hope and pray that we're of that number. All right, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff that's been going on. But as we get further in this thing and the more we grow in the spirit, those demons get stronger as well. All right. You see the chaos that's going on out here in Babylon when you look out of your window. Everybody's conforming to their own lustful thoughts. You know, you have a high number in adultery going on. Everybody that you know in the world are sick. They're disgusting. They're vile. All right. Everything on their mind is satanic. All right. But that's because these demons are getting stronger and there's a stronger satanic vibration that's being pushed. All right. So with me saying that, these demons are messing with us as well. They're going to mess with us in every weakness that we have. You know, whether it be our families, whether it be some friends in the world that you might kick it with, whatever your vice is in the world, you have to understand, or we have to understand, that these demons know that. So these demons press towards your vices to get you out of the truth. And ultimately, who controls those demons? Who controls all of this? The spirit controls all of this, man. You know, but this is part of our trial, man. And as we're going through this fight, whatever stuff we have going on physically, whatever crazy thoughts we have going through our head, because, you know, being in this thing, you're going to have thoughts, man. We all men still. And again, these demons are trying to fuck with you. So whatever stuff you have going on, we have to remember that this is a fight. An analogy I thought of, you know, it's just something that I thought of quick. It was a few days ago, and I was just sitting down. When you're in a battle, when you think of the movie 300, or when you think of King David, King Saul, all the battles that all the mighty men, the battles that they went through, of course, whatever battle you go on, especially in the ancient world, you had a shield. Okay, you had a shield that protect you from every attack that was thrown your way. And when you block it off, it ain't like you don't feel it. When you're in combat, when you're in the art of MMA or boxing, when you put your arms up to block that attack, it hurts. You know, it ain't just like, oh, I blocked it. Okay, you good? Yeah, I'm gonna. No, man, that shit hurts, man. You gotta build that stuff up. You gotta build your muscle up to block those attacks. You have to be strong back in the ancient world to hold that shield up and resist those attacks, man. All right. With me saying this, that resistance isn't gonna be comfortable. You're gonna feel the shockwave or the after effect of that blast after you block it, and it'll hurt. That's how it is when these demons are messing with you, man. A lot of us think of, man, these demons, are they messing with me? They messing with me. Pray it off, of course. But something to consider. We're not being conformed and being reprobate like these people are in the world, man. These people are complete reprobate. This is part of the process. Whatever was going on with us, certain thoughts that we feel like we might be having, that we're going insane, that we're going mad, we're going crazy. Whatever our vice is, whatever our infirmity is, that's that resistance, man. It ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna hurt. You know? Did you have anything you want to say before we open up the scripture?
Nah, hey man, brother, you're getting it dead on point. I mean, it's truly a matter of standing strong after taking that blow.
That's right.
You know, because I'm telling you, you know that another one is coming, and another one, and another one.
That's right, brother. God. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. We got to be strong. Like before we had actually taken over Jericho, what did Joshua tell us when we was in Jordan? Before we crossed the Jordan River? Joshua told us to be courageous and be strong and be of good courage. All right? It's the reason why a lot of these speeches were told to us before we were getting ready to do something big. What's being done right now is something big. This is the paradigm shift of the whole planet that we're bearing witness to right now, and we're hoping to be the first fruits of that, man. So the Spirit has always been telling us to be strong, because of course we know to be strong, but you'll have these thoughts and feel like you're doubting yourself or you're weak or whatever it is, man. Whatever it is. That's why it's in the scripture so much for us to be strong, because the Spirit already knew what was going to happen. All this was written. We know what's going to happen. It's got to be nailed into our minds. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, man. Like we brought up the analogy of fighting earlier, that shield, man. You go ahead, when you block it, it'll hurt, you know. It's pressure, resistance. You getting stricken and you feel it, but you got something blocking it, but you still hurt. Imagine these niggas that you see out here reprobate. They don't got that. That's why you see bestiality rising, homosexuality rising. You see adultery rising. You know what I'm saying? Everything wicked.
The world is actually changing before your very eyes.
God, that's a great point. Absolutely.
It's literally changing to where you literally have to stand strong with that shield. And what is that shield? This sword, man.
That's right.
This book. It's you get ready to get hit with a shockwave of events, actual physical changes, ailments, everything that's coming your way.
That's right, brother. It's a great point. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So that's what we battling, man. Now we know that we got Esau, who's the spiritual demon Satan's lapdog, you know, and that's his physical incarnation on the planet Earth. And he's a huge reason why the earth is in dire straits, and that shows you why Esau is going to be destroyed. But his thing, I don't want to say it's a lot bigger than Esau, because, you know, Esau is definitely the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning that followeth. But who's the one controlling Esau? Telling him what to do? You know, when Esau searches out his enchantments, all of this, going to his monthly prognosticators, witches, sorcerers, that's the Edomites, man. And they put a spirit on our people, but it's the spiritual demon Satan who works on the left-hand side that tells them what to do, man. These thoughts that we have, these demons that mess with Jake, you know, that's the spiritual weakness in high places, man. You know, but we have the armor of Yahweh to resist it, man. You know, to stop us from being reprobate. You got a lot of examples in the scriptures of great men who had certain thorns. Don't know what those thorns are. Paul used to speak about it all the time. You know, so if you going through it and how low we are, imagine the greatest of us. Imagine what our apostles feel. You know, the higher you are in the spirit, the more you're gonna catch. But also too, the higher you are in the spirit, you're gonna have more understanding on how to defend these attacks.
And how to deal with it.
How to deal with it. Absolutely. This is 1 Peter chapter 5. You want to read it?
Go ahead.
I can read it and you can break it down. What verse you want to start on?
Go ahead, bro.
What,
likewise, you go ahead.
Okay,
start at verse 6.
Start at verse 6?
Come.
Okay, 1 Peter 5 and 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time.
Keep going.
God, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because vigilant, Salaki. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Man, this scripture, man, is telling you, because a lot of us, when we start getting hit with these shockwaves that we're telling you about, all these doubts and delusions, anything that these demons may throw upon you, man, you're gonna start getting weak at those times. But the Lord is there, man, if you humble yourself. The Lord is there to care for you, man. Yahweh all day, and you want to continuously be in a stable frame of mind. So it's telling you to be sober and be vigilant, because these devils out here, you're constantly being deceived in this world. Man, when that chip come, trust me, people are going to be tempted very heavy. You're not just going to be able to say no. And this is, but not unless you put on that armor of Yahweh Shai. Because these devils, man, they're going to enforce so much on you. There's going to be so much going on. Ain't just going to be the chip. It's going to be a World War III going on. There's going to be people fighting against each other. All kinds of chaos. That's pretty much the point that's made from this scripture. That I wanted to make from this scripture.
Mm-hmm. Mind for read verse 9 too?
Go ahead.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
but wow, that was the point right there in that verse.
Yeah. God, I'm gonna go to this word resist really quick. We all catching this thing, man. Whether we all going through hell. Whether you're in the spirit or whether you're in the world. The only difference is the ones that's in the spirit, they got something to defend them. They have hope. We have hope. We have a chance. These people in the world going through the same stuff, man, but they don't got nothing to defend themselves from, man. Nothing. And a lot of Jake can't take the heat that they catching, and they end up going back to the world. Like the world's going to change their situation that they're in.
God, in my own testimony of that, man, I see a lot of people, even when I'm at work, who want to come and ask me questions left and right all of a sudden. I do start noticing that. While things are changing in this world. They ask about their friends, they ask about their family, they ask about their own personal lives.
God, brother, God. This is the word resist in the Greek.
Strong's G 436, anthistemi. Anthistemi.
So when you go to this word resist, it's to set oneself against, to withstand. Like we read actually, in Ephesians 6, we didn't read it, but it says it in Ephesians 6, to withstand. That's what this armor's for. It's meant to withstand the fiery darts of the wicked. All right, and that goes into resistance. All right, to set oneself against, to withstand, to resist, to oppose, to set against. And let me see what it says down here. To stand against, opposite. And pretty much when you're in a battle and you're fighting against an enemy and you have a shield or armor, you're using that, you're in opposition of your enemy. You're standing against on the other side. This is light versus darkness. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And again, like we keep mentioning, but that's the reason why we keep mentioning this, because this is something to hone down on. When you're in a battle, man, it ain't just gonna be no easy block. This ain't no video game, man. You ain't gonna just hit no button and block and just be able to, You know what I'm saying? No, man, when you block, you gonna feel it. So what you gonna do after you block it? You gonna continue to block and be like, oh, my arm hurt too bad, and put it down? Or you gonna say, screw it? It could be a lot worse.
Sure.
It could be a whole lot worse. We have the spirit, man. The spirit is working within us, man. We can't be making excuses on what we're supposed to be doing and this and that, man. The spirit is set with us. All right? Have to resist. Resist takes time. It takes endurance. It takes strength to do all of this, man, just to resist. How do you do that? Building yourself up in the spirit. Not building yourself up, Salakia. But when I say that, I mean reading, being a brother, all right, studying, so forth. That's part of resisting, because what that does is that builds your faith up. There's a lesson that the brother Ibadia, Micah Allah, and myself did earlier this week, actually, goes into faith. All right. And the more you resist, the stronger your faith gets built up, because certain things you go through won't be as heavy as you going through it 5 years ago, because you know how to handle it, because you've been through it so many times. And this ain't a point to be stagnant, man. We're supposed to grow. Yahushua refers to us as being a vineyard. When you plant a seed doesn't, a tree, what is being cedar trees, a tree, that thing keep growing, man. That thing keeps growing. And when I say it might not get taller, it might reach its peak in height. But when some branches might get broken off or whatever, you best believe it's going to grow back. Some leaves, they fall off. Them leaves going to grow back continually when it has this resource, which is water, this truth. That's how it is with us, man. All right. There's the one I want to pull up in the Sirach really quick, and then we can end it off in 2 Peter.
Okay.
This is and it's gonna be real quick, even though this whole chapter goes into it, but this is Sirach chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. All right. So what it really stood out to me was to be patient when you're changed to a low estate. All right. Whatever we go through, man.
And if I can say this,
Come.
when it says right there, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Be happy that these small things happen, because you don't want everything to be perfect. While everything just seems to be a breeze, and you're just reading and you're just going about your merry little day every single day. That's why it's telling you that, because sometimes, man, when these things happen, man, okay, look, I ain't losing my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want everything to be so dang on easy, but yet you're talking about all these bad things, but yet you don't see it happening right before your eyes. After a while, that'll take away your faith completely.
That's right, brother. God. And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Are we not worms, man?
God.
Yeah, how about Shem Yahushua looks at us as worms? He called us worms, bro. You can't get lower than a worm. Being in this captivity, Jake, the wicked Jake, and the righteous, they all low. Only difference is, like we mentioned before, we have the shield of faith, man. So we know what's gonna come upon us, man. Like the brother said, that's why he talked about. That's why when he read again, when you're brought to a lower state, to be cheerful about all this, man. And also, I'm gonna say this as well: it's more easier said than done. Being in here, man, them thoughts, you're gonna have thoughts like, man, what the fuck? You might catch yourself complaining, whatever. Not saying you're supposed to just be complaining like that, but the scriptures talk about how the just man complain to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But ultimately, in a nutshell, to take all that cheerfully, man. When the ancient apostles caught hell, when they were thrown in jail, when they were getting stricken down by the wicked scribes and Pharisees, what they do, when you read it in Acts, they cheered, they rejoiced, because they're catching the same afflictions Yahushua caught, But for it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity, And this is a scripture that ain't new to nobody, in the truth, But it needs to be said over and over again, man, because that fire is going to continue to touch you over and over again till you right. You put that fire to you, man. That's when you're going to be accounted worthy. When that fire is getting put to you, take it cheerfully when you burnt with that fire, man. What makes me think of it is in Zephaniah when he talks about how's the word now? I put a candle. I think it's in Zephaniah when he says, "I have searched Jerusalem with candles." You know what I'm saying? You put that candle close to your skin, that shit might burn, man. It wasn't a flashlight. He said candles. It might burn, but it's checking out. The Lord is looking at every little thing got going on, seeing every little thing that you doing. That's part of that refinement process, man. While we here in this grace, man, we got a chance, we got opportunity to get that right and to get that purged out of us before the real fire comes. This is 2 Peter chapter 2. I'm sorry, 2 Peter chapter 1. What verse you want to start off at? Verse 10?
Yeah, go to verse 10.
Okay, kind. I'll read it for you. You can break it down. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fail.
Man, I don't know how much more clear that has been from the lesson we've just given. As we stand together as brethren, one, we were constantly resisting against the things that are going on in this world. We constantly keep each other's heads up, praying for one another, whether the tithing, anything you can think of, man, when it comes to these law, statutes, and commandments, man, we're constantly keeping each other motivated while being in this truth, man, and even yourself, man. When you take the time out to sit down and read, to get that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man, you are literally being diligent against this world. Now pretty much, man, that's all I got on that. Anything else?
Just then your far closing statement, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's real, man. We got to give diligence to make call it election sure, man. This ain't no easy ride.
It's not.
This ain't no easy ride. If it was an easy ride, bro, these scriptures wouldn't be here talking about catching hell and that fire, that heat being on your ass. This is an easy ride. You wouldn't have defensive weapons to withstand the darts of the wicked if it was just an easy ride, man. You know, it's just a spirit that's going around Israel. You know what I mean? A lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Just a lot of different thoughts on different things. You know what I mean? A lot of overthinking certain situations, thinking that you might not be right in the spirit. A lot of doubt. Jake talking about, man, it's just a lot of things Jake's just going through, and we all know that it's just part of the process, man. You know, Yahushua had thoughts before he was cast up, before he was delivered up to the Romans.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We getting ready to be delivered up right now, man. That's going to happen. That's part of the contract that was signed. That's part of the process. But what are you gonna do when you're being attacked? You know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna just sit there? Or are you gonna actually fight? One of the brothers in our camp, one of the captains, Brother Ariala, had made a good point to me about 2 weeks ago, and he was like, if you're stranded in the wilderness, are you just gonna just sit there and just mope and groan and just, bugs is biting you? You know what I mean? You got serpents crawling around you, worried about getting bit? Or are you gonna get up, cut some trees down, build a fire, hunt, get food? Got to make the best of the situation that we're going through, and that goes into the physical situation that we're going through, whatever hell we catch, or even mental. That preparation is key. But when you read these scriptures and have understanding, man, that's that preparation. Praying, of course, it's a key point. Preparation. You got to prep, man. And that goes to all of us, But, just wanted to end it off on that one. Lord willing, it was edifying. All right, it was a little longer than intended, but hey, you can't put a number to the spirit.
You can't.
You can't put a number to the spirit. But want to end it off on giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. We'd like to give again double honors to our apostles, our elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect, the remnant, the house of David. In the Hebrew, that's pronounced Bayath Dawadah. Kicking this word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom.